welcome back to my channel. Okay, let's get into this one right here. Well, we have a Donald Trump update. Well, it's the same as it was before. The guy is losing his mind. Donald Trump is losing his mind, folks. And what else did you think he was going to get? Shocker, 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 shocker. You vote for one, you vote for the other one. And the old saying that, you know, the voters always tell me this, man, if you don't vote, you don't have no say so. If you don't vote, well, you can't say nothing. No, every time you vote, you mess it up for me. I would never vote for none of these clowns, because what does history tell us? It's the same shenanigans. Don't matter who you put in for 4 years or 8 years, it's the same shenanigans. They do nothing for the people. All they do is for companies and corporations that fund their political bullish, right? So if the big companies and corporations fund them when they run their campaigns, which cost millions and millions, and let's be real, tens of millions, sometimes hundreds of millions. So when the companies and corporations, the big ones, pay for these guys' campaigns so they can run, who do you think they're promising to pay back? Who do you think they're going to pass laws for? Not you. Not you that voted for them. So this is what they do. They get in office and they got to do for the same people that pay for them to get in office. That's it, folks. Why don't adults grow up? If you don't know the political atmosphere, if you don't know what politics is, if you don't know the laws that they clearly don't hide from you, that you really can't even vote. A popular vote is just a feel-good vote. The politicians vote the president into office. That's why you get the popular vote and they get the electoral college, right? So we already went over this. The fact is, what did Trump promise the dummies? Well, the whole thing was about immigrants and inflation, right? So he comes in office and it's not even like, let me do one thing at a time, 3 things at a time. No, folks, this guy is trying to do 3,000 things at one time and try to reverse the policies of what the Democrats and Biden and Kamala Harris did in those 4 years. He's trying to reverse all that in 4 years. It's not possible, folks. You got to take a breather. You got to get a one thing done first, a couple things done before you can try to do 30 things. It doesn't work that way. So what does he do? And, you know, the people that he's going to try to impress, let's get these illegal immigrant criminals. Okay. I'm not sure that put up inflation. If that's a good thing, it's a good thing. I've never ran into none of these people. I've never even seen none of these people. They never put my eggs up to $8 an hour. They never put all these prices up that affected me. I don't really know. Okay. You got them. So in 4 years, what about the 10 million illegal immigrants across the border? And sometimes, you know, the news, they try to make it seem like it was only Central Americans that crossed the border, folks, or people from Central America or South America. No, folks, it was Haitians, Europeans, Africans, Caribbean people, all kind of people crossing that border. But that's how they want to bring the movie to you, like it was just them. So for a lot of people that voted for him, they wanted the border closed. So I guess it's closed now. So now what? How does inflation go down? And I'm trying to tell you guys, before we go any further, I've already told you guys this. It was better he didn't get in office, because the inflation that the Democrats built up these past 4 years is something you would think would happen maybe over 4 decades. So what I'm trying to say is, the debt that the Democrats built up through giving all these illegal immigrants cell phones, money cards, shelter, giving all this money to other countries. COVID, whew, you know how much money they gave during COVID? They gave trillions of dollars during COVID to the medical industry. When we talk about everybody was getting these checks who only had a LLC, that's all you had to have is a LLC, and you was able to get maybe like $18,000, $12,000. But if you was bigger than that, you could get hundreds of millions, a million, 500 million. 100,000. And this went out to millions and millions and tens of millions of people, folks. That's not even counting the little bull-ish checks that the other people got, right? That's not even counting the, the $2,000 they gave you, the $600 they gave poor people. And then on top of that, you got to remember, Biden was saying to a lot of these people was trying to jump the border and apply for these checks. So Biden was like, no, stay at home, stay over there. You can apply from there. Literally, he was telling people you can apply for the COVID checks and you don't even live in this country. Stay in your country and you can apply for them there. What? So what I'm trying to tell you right here is the debt that the Biden, I'll probably bet some more. We already know it was some more. But the debt they build up, it was better for Trump just to not get elected, because the debt that they built up is going to take at least 10 to 15 more years to pay that back. That don't go away. Who do you think they got that money from? Well, they got the money from the World Bank. They got the money. If you're already in debt and you print more money and you already owe more money, you're in more debt now. So the only thing that's going to pay it back now is inflation. Everything goes up now. And how they do that first is property tax. They do that with property tax. And next, they do that with taxes coming out of your check. And taxes every time you go to the store and buy something. So inflation is just going to go up. And we all know what this is for. It's to get the poor people out of the United States. We know who the poor people are. And this has been a thing that's been going on since 2000 with the gentrification. Have these recessions, have these hiccups, and the more and more it happens, these poor people can continue to get pushed out of their communities, which they own very little now. And it's been gentrified by, other people. I won't even go into that, but we all know what the big game is in this situation. Maybe we'll save that for another day. But if he would not just don't get elected, you let the Democrats deal with this. They ran up the inflation. Let them deal with it. And I know it's a dire straight situation because we're looking at these people just going to keep flooding the border, keep doing all this stuff. And these are the people that so-called black people vote for. The same people that are trying to wipe you out of your community, employment, all this stuff. You're voting for people that's wiping you the hell out. White people see it. They're like, we don't want this. They're waving a white flag. Whoever can see it, help us. SOS. Black people, like, come on. And I'm talking about foundational black people. There are people who've been here since the 1600s, 1700s, 1800s, stuff like that. Foundational Americans. And they done lost it so much that they want to get wiped out. They don't care. They think that these people are coming to be their friends. Nope. Coming to steamroll them like always. Just like when Martin Luther King got that civil rights bill signed, everybody thought, oh yeah, we're going to start loving on each other. Nope, everybody came in and steamrolled black Americans. Steamrolled them. Well, that's another story. That's another story, because they won't tell you that you had all your own everything, businesses in your community. You didn't have to go outside to eat some, a cheeseburger that these people made. It wasn't nothing that interesting about the cheeseburger they made. It was just that your dollar didn't lead the community. So that was frustrating these people over here. So all they did was make a movie and have it make it look like you need to be eating their soup and their their hamburgers need to be going to their schools when you had everything. But they won't tell you that. It's an agenda, folks. So, and that same, a lot of stuff happens that happens in the United States happens all over the world with melanated people too. Almost the same thing, and almost the same, things happen, period. Everybody, in their countries had a civil war and a war of independence, kind of like a Jim Crow type of thing, dividing the people. And, maybe in a mixed country, it's called colorism. It's all the same, folks. Drawn out by the world government that owns the entire world. That's why you got the UN. Anyway, let's get back into this. I won't tell you the whole story about life. I was talking to a guy at the store, and I was like, how do people not even know what the hell is going on by the time they're 40 years old, 35 years old, 50 years old, 60 years old? The same tricks are being played on them every single 4 years, every 4 years. And they'll go through life and it ain't like you can't find out the truth. There's people putting out books. You can read the law. There's people Thousands of people put out good videos about some of the stuff I'm talking about, but in more detail. This isn't to talk about how the world really works and real world history, but I'm just trying to figure out, how are people still this dumb? How are they still this dumb? I don't know. But you're going to have to come back to this thing and do it all over again, because that's what happens anyways. If you're dumb enough to believe in the stuff these people give you and you're playing part in it, guess what's going to happen? When you leave, you're going to come back. You're going to come back and have to do it. And all the people that came back over and over again, it's been hell. It's been hell. And hey, you might live in some mansion right now and live good in this life, and then come back, guess where you living? You could go to Haiti and be eating mud sandwiches or something like that. I ain't trying to diss those people, but I'm just saying, those people could have been living rich, some of those people in another life, and then came back there. Or any poor country. I'm not trying to single out Haiti or something. I just said a name. But that's how it is, folks. You can't even believe people are this dumb with all this knowledge out here. All this stuff you can find out in people. And I know why, because they're scared. You try to tell them any piece of the truth. See, when people start telling me the truth, I said, well, let me go look at it. Let me go see if this is the truth. That's what I just said. I wasn't scared. I said, let me go look at it. In my mind, if it's wrong, I'm just going to walk away from it. But people don't even want to go look at nothing, because they believe in the ish. I would say they believe in it. They're just scared. It scared them to know the truth. So, like I said, he should not have won and got put in office and let the Democrats just eat this whole thing. And that's it. Because what's going to happen, folks, is you see what he's doing now. He's just building up a whole bunch of debt. He's not fixing any debt. Giving money to Elon Musk, doing these operations, going after people. All this is money, folks. This is just building up more debt. Beefing with other countries. Guess what? They're going to put a tariff on you now. Eggs done went up. Other stuff keeps going up at the supermarket. This thing about, they gave away all this money to people who weren't even alive. All those Social Security checks. That's a whole bunch of debt. But how do you fix that? It's still there. So now you got to, put these people in court, run them through this, run them through that, whatever like that. It's more debt. Everything. I want to build, stuff in the Gaza Strip, more debt. So what, you going to go over there and fund their war machine to fight off these people so they're no longer at Gaza Strip? More debt. You want to build an Iron Dome like Israel has, but you want to put it over the whole United States. That's more debt. This guy ain't putting down any debt, folks. He's just adding on to the debt. And that's how it's always been with all these people. All these presidents, just more debt. So why? So inflation goes up, the people suffer, and the people have to give more money to these companies and corporations that funded them so we can live. That's about it, folks. I don't really even keep up on this stuff no more, because, they got rid of a lot of people on these networks because they don't need them no more to push his political agenda, because it got social media. Everything is about social media. It ain't about nothing real no more. It's about entertainment. That's it. And what I found out is that people, I would say in sports, the political realm, a lot of stuff in general is just up on social media lying, folks, to get money. All these people do is lie for views. They don't care about you. They don't care about the truth. They don't care what's going to happen. All they're doing is lying for money. That's it. They ain't here to tell you any type of truth. They're telling you the same truth that they're hearing on TV. The only thing is, you got to pick one side, the good side or the bad side. And those sides are put out by the deceivers, right? So when I make videos, I never talk about exactly what they're talking about, the subject. So whatever the subject is, you got to take, say if we talk about LeBron James, right, in the NBA, they're going to take LeBron James' side or the other side, whatever the other side is. It's the good side or the bad side. I'm not going to take that side. I'm going to expose the whole damn thing for what it is. I'm telling you, this is just entertainment. These guys don't make this kind of money. LeBron James is only playing because that's all they got. They saw the ratings are so bad, they don't have nobody else. If he leaves, the league is over. But they can't tell you that. The league is over. It's going to look like baseball. Nobody wants to see these international players play. You're in the United States. If you put an American face in, I don't know, let's say Spain, you think they're going to watch that sport? If the majority of players, maybe in that soccer league in Spain, whatever soccer league they got, if the top guys are American and can't even speak Spanish or whatever like that and are the faces of that league, them Spanish people ain't vibing with that, man. And that's how they try to do American sports. You saw what they did with baseball. Kicked all the Americans out. Now nobody wants to watch it. So Clearly, they've been doing that with basketball. Ain't nobody wants to watch it, but they're keeping the LeBron figure around just for entertainment. So what I'm trying to tell you is they'll never tell you that, folks. So when you come to my channel, I'm spitting real truth, real facts about stuff you're not going to hear on social media. You're not going to hear on TV, because these people are here to pick the side that they've been given. And that's gotten people nowhere but where we're at right now. We can go back to the 90s. That's where we was at right there. Whole bunch of miserable people. Go back to the 60s, whole bunch of miserable people. Go back to the 50s, whole bunch of miserable people. Go back to, 2000, a bunch of miserable people. Because everybody keeps picking a side that was given to them. It's not the side that you wanted. It's not the, the perspective that you came up with, your opinion. It's what they gave you to choose from. So that's all I'm going to say. They're going to keep running their antics. Kobe Bryant, now he's getting a statue. I think it's some memorial with like other black leaders or whatever like that, just to make black people feel good. Here, there you go. There you go. That's what they give black people. Foundational black people in this country, they give them statues. They gave them, what was that? Black History Month. Really? What does that do? Oh, it's a feel-good story. It's like voting is a feel-good story. So I'm going to just keep laughing at the whole thing. To me, what's going to happen is this guy, he's going to keep building up this debt, whatever like this. And the same thing is going to happen. Maybe like in 2 years, maybe 2.5 years, another pandemic is going to break out. And everything he said he was going to do, he said he was going to, do this, do that, blah, 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 bring out a debt. They're going to blame it on that pandemic. They're going to say, oh, we couldn't do nothing about that. It was a pandemic. That's what they do, folks. So it's just crazy. I look at some of these elders and I'm like, they don't have, I'm just saying, man, a lot of them ain't here to give you no knowledge. Religion and politics. That's about it. I'm talking about life in general. Because when they get older, that's all they care about is religion and politics, because that's what they were given. Religion and politics. That's all you got. See, you either graduate from those things or you don't. If you don't graduate, you're probably going to come back to this hellhole, basically. So I only did this video because somebody told me, they couldn't wait to hear what I, was going to say about Trump lately, but it ain't really nothing to say, bro. This is like a movie. They're basically giving you a movie script. If you look on TV every single day, it's like a movie. That's how NBA is too. It's like a damn movie. The NBA, there's no on-court greatness. It's 95% soap opera. Now, it ain't even politics no more. We never heard, when we was coming up, we never heard about no damn politics every day like this. Everything's a big story. You hear about the president maybe like, woof, every once in a while. Now, it's every damn day. So, you're going to see this guy so-called do all these good things, but you ain't going to see them prices go down at all. At all. He can expose the Democrats for the next damn 4 years of what they did. Fine. Somebody should have been going to jail for all that money they was giving away. Nothing happened to him. But I'm just saying, he could expose the Democrats, whatever he want to do for the next 4 years. That inflation is not going down, folks. That those Democrats did the last 4 years. It's not going down. It ain't going down. I was up in the store today in like a Hostess cake. That thing was $3.69 before tax. It was up in the 7-Eleven. A Coke was like $4.80 before tax. That's $5 after tax, folks. A loaf of bread in that 7-Eleven was $5. It was like a king size, whatever candy, Reese's or Snickers, whatever, Hershey's. You know what that was? You won't believe it. It was like $3.69 before tax. That's $4 with tax. What about a regular candy bar? That thing was like $2.69. $2.69 before tax. That's $3 with tax. Just telling you, it ain't gonna get no better. That inflation that they ran up, you ain't seen nothing yet. It ain't started. And all Trump is doing is wasting time, putting more debt on top of that. He ain't said nothing to lower that debt. Talking about firing back at other countries, we spending this money. Whatever you try to do with those countries, they're already in debt too, also. So they're not gonna let you spend less or spend less with you to help them. No, it ain't gonna work like that. This is what I'm gonna say, folks. As a proud foundational American, that trace my people all the way back to the 1600s through genealogy, not no damn swab in the mouth, not no ethnicity test, none of that nonsense where they want to tell you you're from, okay? And I trace some of my other people back to the 1700s, right? And what I'm trying to tell you is, if we really cared about any of this stuff, first of all, when we talk about immigration, I won't build one damn wall on that border. I would be building prisons, jails, whatever it's called, along the damn border. I don't know, every 5 miles, every 15 miles, whatever it is. And if you come across there, you just broke the law and you're going to jail. For the first time, you're going 1 year. And we can make up how many years for the second time, third time, maybe 5 years, 15 years, something like that. I'd rather have my tax money going towards that, because I know these people aren't going to want to go to jail. Second of all, you're going to get your business shut down if you hire anybody illegal. Yeah. You better come with some real papers, not some signature you're signing off on something because they brought some paper saying they did it. No, real deal. They better have some legal paperwork. Next, I will bring back hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of unions back across America. Because back in the day, when the children used to get out of school, they could either do one or two things. They could go in debt by going to college, and then you graduate college and maybe you make a little bit more at a white collar job. Or two, you could do what? You could go work for a union and be an apprentice, and then later on be a journeyman. And this is how the United States was built, with these type of people. So I will bring the unions back. I will be signing bills to bring the unions back. And all these people who ain't supposed to be in the damn union, they can kick rocks. But these politicians is not serious about that, folks. Because the same people that give money to their campaign, it don't matter if it's Trump or the Democrats, so they can run for office. These same people that give money to their campaign, they hire illegal immigrants. So don't let them fool you. And the whole thinking is, now you kind of see, these white collar jobs, they're about to go out of business now. Because what he's trying to do, he's trying to, get rid of all these white collar workers, these federal workers, and the AI is going to take over the jobs. That's what's going to happen. That's what they want to happen. So this is going to trickle down bigger than what you think. If AI can do their jobs, AI is coming for a lot of office jobs, a lot of white collar jobs. This is a forecast for the next 2 years. I've seen this in a video. So a lot of people who work in offices, they're not going to have a job soon. Just not the federal government. And it's not funny, but I'm just saying it's kind of, when this was happening to, American blue collar workers, the white collar workers weren't trying to push back when blue collar workers were getting their job taken, right? By people who shouldn't be working legal. Nobody was trying to help them out. And so how can you feel sorry for white collar workers? They ain't never did nothing for blue collar workers. They wasn't there when the unions was getting shut down, when they was losing their job. And you were believing the nonsense on the news. Oh, these guys, from these other countries, they just work harder. They're better workers. And I always say, oh yeah, is that right? Okay. So if that's right, give them insurance, pay them by the hour, pay them overtime, give them workman's comp. Since they're better workers. Oh, okay. I see the deal. They're not actually better workers. They're just cheaper workers. Okay. So it's hard for me to feel sorry for some of these white collar workers because they never felt sorry for the blue collar workers when they were losing their jobs to other people who shouldn't even be working in the first place. But that's the forecast for the white collar workers in this country. Even some of the ones that voted for Trump, they're going to lose their job. And, some of them federal workers, and then some people who aren't federal workers. But these people who own these businesses, they're going to see what they did to the federal workers and how AI can do those jobs. So other businesses are going to be like, well, we're going to take that program too from Elon Musk, and we're getting rid of our white collar workers too. So that's the forecast in the next 2 years. It's going to be a disaster, folks. Remember, it don't matter if you voted for this guy. You voted, period. So you voted for both of them. It don't matter who you think should have won. You voted. So you voted for both of them. All I did was make fun of them because I already know the deal.